Have you ever wanted a girlfriend? I know you have. But you're not a Chad. You're more of a soy Wojak, with all due respect. They're just too hard to obtain. You don't really want to put in the work. Why go to the gym to get a pump on when you could go to your bedroom to get a pump on? Why hop in the shower when you could just hop in your used underwear? Why talk to people outside when you could just talk to your body pillow? It's all just too much work for a slight chance that a girl will like you back. No, what you need is a girlfriend that you could rent for a single day. Now, on that day, you could do anything you'd like. Now, calm down, Mr. Weinstein. What I mean is to go on dates and do wholesome activities together, like bowling or a fun game of darts. If only there was a service that could provide that. Ring ring, ring ring. Hey, I just created a new app called Rent's a Girlfriend. What you can do is rent a girlfriend. Well, would you look at that? Rent's a Girlfriend stars big man on campus Kazuya Conchita, a 20-year-old college student who just wants a loving girlfriend and also fellatio. But since he's a male who grew up in the red pill alpha generation, he is constantly bullied for being a beta and simp, and thus grew up to be one. He tried to sign up for Hustlers University, but they rejected him. He didn't have enough player points on his resume, but surprisingly, he did have a girlfriend. A girlfriend who loved him and supported him no matter what. Never mind, she just dumped him. Broken and alone in the cold streets of Tokyo, he pulls out his phone, not for pornography, but to go on the Rent a Girlfriend website. A wonderful website that has access to many beautiful women across the great city of Tokyo for just a low price of $300 per hour. While he's choosing the perfect woman, he can't help but think about his ex-girlfriend getting railed by mischievous looking men. I mean, look at these guys. So while sitting there crying his eyes out and grabbing his baseballs, he comes across a girl that looks right for him. Next day rolls around and he chooses his most drippiest outfit that he has in his closet, an orange Naruto shirt and some clown pants. A truly refined gentleman. While waiting outside, he's thinking to himself, maybe he got catfished. Maybe she's not as attractive as she looks on her profile. Maybe she's Chris Hansen. While all these thoughts are racing through his mind, a woman comes up to him. She asks if he's Kazuya. They go to a local restaurant to talk. As it turns out, they're both college kids. A man's mind is like a garden, except not at all. All he can think about is how smoking hot she looks and how lucky a man would be to tame her. Like a fucking dog, I guess. She then asks for him to whip out his, wallet so he could pay for the meal. He scrounges up a couple of bucks and they make their way out of there. This lovely couple then proceed to go to the local aquarium where they could see nature's beautiful creatures in action. Mr. Fish Expert over here knows all about aquatic organisms. He corrects her on what the fish's actual name is, and she loves it. As the day starts to end, Kazuya gets something that most males don't experience in their lifetime: holding hands with a girl. As he walks her to the train station, they start to say their goodbyes. As she starts to walk away, he looks at his hand, thinking about how that crusty hand felt the touch of a woman. Back home, Kazuya looks at her Yelp reviews and comes to the realization that she played him. It was nothing but mere theater. It's almost as if he paid her to be his girlfriend for the day. Unbelievable. How could she do this? Anyways, he then gives her a 1 star and says that she sucked ass. Like a true Twitch donator, he wastes all of his money on her, and that gets him furious. Next day rolls around and they're back at it. Kazuya then asks her if she doesn't get tired of going on fake dates with losers like him. She says she loves getting easy money, so why would she stop? She gets to meet wonderful people like him. He starts to realize that she did her homework and studied up on fish for this date. However, he does not appreciate it and starts calling her a dumb whore, just like how Andrew taught him. He's letting all of his incel rage out on her. She drags him by the arm with a booger hanging out of his nose. She starts to explain to him that she's a rental girlfriend and that's how it works. She goes on to say that he was a loser that picked him and he agreed to all the conditions. She then gets pressed about how he left a 1-star review on her profile, like how someone would leave a 1-star Yelp review on a motel because they found a used condom on the ground. As the rant ends, Kazuya gets a phone call. He says that his grandma fell down the stairs and called Life Alert, so they both run to the hospital. At the hospital, Kazuya's grandma explains that she just caught a bad case of gangsta. Her attention shifts to the girl that Kazuya brought, and they all start questioning who this girl is and what she's doing with Kazuya. A moment of silence later, and he blurts out that she's his girlfriend. She gets up and introduces herself himself as Chizuru Mizuhara. His whole family is shocked with this revelation as they all thought he was a homosexual. Never in her 83 years of living has she ever seen her grandson with some pussy. It brings her to tears. His parents say they gotta get going, so that leaves Kazuya and Chizuru alone with grandma. She brings up the topic if they fondled the cranberries yet, and explains how important it is to butter up the banana. Chizuru says that she's waiting to take his virginity until she has the whole family's approval. She then gives Kazuya the anal eyes, which weakens him. He's gotta remind himself that this is all an act. Grandma suddenly bolts out of her bed and says that she's gotta get the other gilfs to witness his girlfriend. Chizuru starts freaking out as she realizes that her own grandma is hospitalized with dementia. Both their grandmas so happen to be in the same hospital. She explains that she hasn't told her grandma about her OnlyFans business. She proceeds to say that she can't handle this shit anymore. I'm outta here, and runs out the door. Just as she walks out the door, she sees grandma and her friends. Chizuru grabs Kazuya by the hand and drags him into another door. They start coming up with the plans of how to escape this sticky situation, but just as they finalize the plan, they overhear grandma opening the door. They think quick on their feet and hide under the bed covers. Under the covers, they're both playing missionary. Kazuya's never made it this far in Honey Pot before, and he accidentally pops a pimple in his pants. She says to calm down his quagmire, but he says his geschmorgedy's already gugus. Suddenly, grandma interrupts them and wonders if everything's alright under there. She then asks if they saw a young couple around. Chizuru puts on a fake voice and says that she saw them leaving the hospital. With that, grandma skedaddles. Kazuya thinks about the situation he's in. He's only been this close to a girl in a VR porn game, and even that, the other girl was a guy. But this sweet moment gets interrupted as she kicks him off of her. As she's going on about how she'll never date him, her own grandma comes through the door. Also, Kazuya's grandma comes through the door. Kazuya's grandma already told Chizuru's grandma that his grandson has some bitches. As it turns out, they're both best friends. Kazuya steps up to the plate and almost spills the beans on how they're not really boyfriend and girlfriend, but Chizuru stops him before he says anything. Both the grand ladies can't believe that their grandchildren are in a grand relationship together. Outside the hospital, Kazuya apologizes that she had to lie for him. Chizuru says that she's sorry for not telling her grandmother about her e-girl lifestyle. She suggests that they just tell him that they broke up. Kazuya explains how he wishes to find the perfect maiden before his grandmother croaks, and goes on to say how he already had a girlfriend ready to see his grandma, but that she refused to see her and that she took a dump on him. He says after the dump, he went on the rental girlfriend site to find another woman, and that's how he stumbled across her. Chizuru gets up and says that everyone gets lonely every now and again, and that everybody cries in the dark. They all compensate with work or a severe porn addiction. Kazuya then says that he'll tell his grandma everything, and how he'll bring her a real woman. One slap later, and they're all cool. She says if he's feeling lonely, then he should waste his money on her. And with that, they're both on their way. We get an obligatory shower scene that comes with any anime. After the hot bath, Chizuru looks at her phone and sees that she has another simp to her collection. Next day rolls around and we see Kazuya strutting around on campus. He sees that his ex is already fucking other dudes, but he's feeling optimistic. His friends come by and tell him how many times he jerked off yesterday. He says only a measly 3, but suddenly a girl drops all of her papers on the floor in front of him. It's none other than Chizuru. They both go to the same college. Who would have thought? Why she kind of look like that one girl? And that's about it. Like and subscribe.